How many people have a bucket list of things that you honestly want in your life, but you think deep down inside, I don't know if this is ever going to happen? So many times we write down our dreams and goals, but we don't have a plan or a path to get there. And we want them to happen and we hope that they'll happen. And sometimes we call that a hope strategy, but it doesn't always come true because we don't back up the hope strategy with a real strategy and action steps, consistent action steps of how we are going to get there. If we don't know each other, my name is Chrissy Connor and I am the Visibility Queen, and I help you grow your brand by showing up, being more visible so that you can be heard, you can be seen, and you can become unforgettable to your audience. So the past 2 weeks, I have been in Hawaii, and it has been on my bucket list for literally probably 15 years. But 2 years ago, I actually wrote it down. I wrote it down in a notebook at a conference. It was the number one place that I wanted to go. But when I wrote it down a little over 2 years ago, I'll be honest, I didn't think it was possible. I didn't see it actually happening. And so until that belief was there that it could actually happen, it wasn't going to happen, right? So in this past summer, my mastermind that I am a part of decided they were going to go to Hawaii. And I was like, this is it. This is it. I could have went just for the mastermind time, which hello is a write-off, right? Because I'm learning during that time. But I wanted to go for longer. It's been on my bucket list to actually go to Hawaii and work for a month, right? To actually work there and enjoy the scenery around me. So I wanted to make it 2 weeks if at all possible. And so I asked my husband, I was like, honey, do you want to go to Hawaii? Also, for those that don't know, it's hunting season. And so that's a big deal for my husband. So we would have had to leave earlier. And so he was like, yeah, I'll go. And so in July, which was my highest month ever, I said, you know what? This is crazy. Stop stalling. Just do it. Right now, because of the pandemic, because of so many things going around, yes, I did make sure that my airfare was refundable. I made sure my hotel was refundable because you never know when people are going to have lockdowns or anything like that these days. So I did make sure that I was safe. I paid more for everything so that I could have that insurance. And there were a lot of obstacles along the way, right? Like when we have a goal and when we have something that we really, really want, everything is going to come in our way to be a roadblock, right? Because the universe is basically saying, how bad do you want this? How bad do you really want to go to Hawaii? How bad do you want to hit 6 figures? How bad do you want to hit 7 figures? How bad do you want to grow your list, right? So any roadblock that can happen will and can happen. So number one, when you write something down, know that every roadblock that can possibly happen will come up against you. But what I want you to know is that if we can go around the roadblocks or have a plan B, we will always make it through, right? Especially if the desire is there, the means are there, and the action and the consistency are there to continue along the path. So before all of this happened, right? I have struggled with getting visible. I've struggled getting on video. The 5 years ago version of me would not be doing this video right now. But I realized the power in visibility. I realized the power in consistency, and I realized the power in getting uncomfortable. And if you've been following me, you know that I started an uncomfortable journey on June 18th. And that was listening to a podcast by Rob Dow. Love you, Rob. And it's called The Mindset Mentor. And it was the June 17th episode, but it was how to change your life and change your brain, or something like that. Nothing in the episode was anything different than I'd ever heard before. But something in that moment said, you need to turn it up, right? This is what you're meant to do. You're meant to get uncomfortable every single day. And so it leads me back to 5 years ago when I finally started getting on video. And I always said that video changed my life. But honestly, video didn't change my life. Getting uncomfortable changed my life. Doing the thing that scared the poop out of me the most, right? That scared me to death, that I was petrified of doing, was the roadblock keeping me from all my goals and dreams, right? And so being uncomfortable changed my life 100%, hands down, and will continue to change my life the more uncomfortable I choose to get. Getting on video, however, changed my business. But it all starts with that personal decision, right? That personal decision of getting uncomfortable. Typically, what is holding us back in our business is the thing that we are afraid to do, the thing we feel nagging in the back of our head that we should do, but we're not doing. Those are almost always the things that lead us to greatness, that lead us to the path of our goals, that lead us to where we want to go. So if something is nagging in the back of your mind, if it is bugging you or stressing you out, or you're freaking afraid to do it, it's time to do it. I tell people all the time when they're afraid to join my programs because of the cost, I'm like, listen, if it doesn't scare you, I wouldn't do it. If it's not uncomfortable, I wouldn't do it. If it's not uncomfortable, it's not worth doing, because you're not going to invest the time, you're not going to invest the energy, and you're not going to trust the process. And that's what I want more than anything. For people who follow me, whether it's for my free programs or for my membership or my high ticket inner circle, I want you to trust the process, because trusting the process has gotten me where I am today. Trusting the process without worrying about instant gratification. Yes, we want instant gratification. I totally want instant gratification. I'm not even going to lie. But being consistent without instant gratification is what will take you to the next level. Continuing to do it without the instant gratification that we want, because that means every single day we show up, we're being consistent, we're being true to ourselves, we're being true to our word. And that is truly when we see the changes happen in our business. I got to Hawaii because I chose to continuously be visible as possible, to put myself out there, to practice what I preach, right? To do the things I ask my students and my inner circle members to do. Not saying, hey, do this, but I'm going to do this, right? No, I am following a path, a proven path that I am going to 10x on January 1st when I go for my $1 million run. 7 figures is not going to be, I'm not going to get to 7 figures the same way I got to 6 figures, right? Multiple 6 figures. I'm going to have to up level and do something different. And that's the path I'm on. That's what I'm willing to do. So I want to ask you today and drop in the chat, what are you willing to do to get to the next level? You don't need to wait on 2022. You don't need to wait on a Monday. You can start right now. And I know it is a Monday, but how weird would it be to start something new right now at 11 o'clock currently on a Monday that you didn't even say yes to this morning? You literally start to, or maybe you start tomorrow, but you don't need a new tomorrow. You need a new mindset. You need a new perspective to make that change, to say yes, to push through to your goals, to trust the process, consistently taking action every single day. So what's on your bucket list, and what are you willing to do to get there? I'm willing to continuously show up and be more consistent than my competitors. The question is, what are you willing to do?